It's tough because I'm a doer. I like to do stuff. I got a big ego. I won't lie. And I've experienced in my life that when I'm pushing the river, trying to make things happen, I tend to get like focused in and hyper focused on something to the exclusion of everything else. It's sort of this weird focus and obsession thing that I get. And as long as I feel cool doing what I'm doing and there's no angst, there's no anxiety, there's no agita in my stomach, my mother would say, like butterflies, then for the most part, I'm just playing, and that means that I'm walking in God's grace because there's no resistance. I was talking about resistance before. But the minute I start feeling frustrated, like I need to fight to make this thing work, I got to recognize that I'm walking outside of God's grace. So all that to say that you have a good sense that you are allowing God's light to guide your feet if you have no anxiety, just faith and gratitude. Do you relinquish power that you have to create the life you desire? Well, I would say that the power to create the life that God desires in you does not get relinquished. It grows. It's empowered. It's empowered immensely. It's the most powerful thing that we can do. It's the most powerful shoes we can run in because they were made exactly for us. The only thing you're relinquishing is resistance against that power that God gives you to create the life He desires for you. And there's a good chance that the life that if you're tapped in, this is why it's important. If the life you desire is also in accordance to what God wills for you. And I tend to think that we have an intuition about these things. I tend to think we kind of know. We're a little psychic, or if we're silent, we can hear. It's not exact. Like I always give the example of when I was a young man, and I imagined that I would be speaking to millions of, or not even millions, but thousands of people. I thought I was going to do it like Tony Robbins on like a stage or something, like Joel Osteen or some shit. This is what God was, I wanted it because of my ego, and it's what God was saying, yes, Elliott, this is coming. And I'm like, oh, okay, but I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know where it's going to happen. There was no YouTube when I thought of that. Then in retrospect, years later, I'm like, oh my God, I'm talking in front of millions of people. But I wasn't on a stage, and I wasn't even on TV. It's on this new thing called YouTube. I couldn't have the power to create that life for me. I didn't know that even existed. So I know you're asking a lot of things at once here too, because it is a partnership, because you got to open, you have to say yes, and you got to dance. Grace is a dance. And so there's a part that we put in, but there's a part also that we allow. The ejaculatory prayer, Lord Jesus Christ, thank you for keeping me free from vice and walking firmly in your grace, is not a petition. You say, I perceive this prayer as Jesus is the one who's keeping me free from vice and not so much my will. It is a thanking of that because it's true. You're giving gratitude for what is. You're not keeping yourself free from vice. This is a whole nother topic for a spiritual warfare. Even you being here, this is God's grace. And so you're saying thank you for Jesu Christu, your image of God, Christ in you. Christ is one with you and has led you down this path and is giving you encouragement and also challenges to keep you on that path. And so it's just acknowledgement of a truth. That's the way I see it. Thank you for keeping me free from vice and walking firmly in your grace. Porn. 68% of church-going men watch it secretly, hiding this vice from their wife. For other men, it's alcohol.
or drug use? Are you willing to risk your marriage, family, and finances for sinful pleasures and vice? Or are you ready to fight back? If you're a married Christian businessman or entrepreneur caught in the clutches of drinking, drugs, or jerking off, realize that every moment spent in these vices is literally destroying your life. Is this the man God called you to be? To live like this? If you're ready to go to war against vice and take your life back, here's my advice. Click the link in this video or visit waronvice.com to book a call with me to see if we're a good fit for going into battle together. I'll see you on the inside.